Martell Holt has never been a stranger to attention. Whether it's good or bad, his name always finds a way to dominate conversations. But this time, things feel different. After months of rumors, countless theories, and social media detectives working overtime, Martell has finally done the unthinkable. He's revealed the mystery woman that had everyone guessing. And let's just say, the internet isn't taking it lightly. What started as quiet whispers online has now exploded into full-blown chaos. Fans are shocked, critics are circling, and everyone's asking the same question: why now? Why her? Because for Martell, timing is everything. He doesn't move without reason. He doesn't speak without purpose. And when he finally chose to show the world who's been by his side, it wasn't random, it was strategic. You could almost feel it, like the calm before a storm. The moment the photo dropped, timelines froze, comments flooded in, and people's jaws hit the floor. Nobody saw this coming. After all the drama, after all the heartbreak, it looks like Martell has turned the page. But knowing his history, peace never comes without a little chaos. And this reveal just reopened wounds many thought had healed. Now let's rewind for a second, because to understand why this moment is shaking the internet, you have to remember where Martell's story began. Before the headlines, before the reality TV spotlight, Martell Holt was known as a family man. Back then, he and Melody Shari were the couple people looked up to. On Love and Marriage, Huntsville, they looked like a power team, young, successful, and deeply connected. They built an empire together, balancing business and family like it was second nature. But behind the camera smiles and public appearances, cracks were forming. Their picture-perfect marriage slowly turned into something messy and public. When news of Martell's affair broke, it didn't just shake their marriage, it shook their entire fan base. People felt betrayed, especially those who saw Martell as a husband trying to build something real with his wife. The affair wasn't just a rumor, it became the centerpiece of one of the most emotional storylines in reality TV. And when the world found out that the other woman, Ariane Curry, wasn't just a fling but someone Martell had been seeing for years, everything fell apart. Their marriage ended. His reputation tanked. And suddenly, Martell went from being a respected businessman to one of the most controversial figures in reality television. Melody found her strength in independence, while Martell tried to piece his image back together. But no matter what he did, his past refused to stay buried. Every move he made was analyzed. Every woman he stood next to became the subject of online theories. Still, Martell knew how to keep people watching. He understood that mystery had power. Instead of explaining himself, he started letting silence do the talking. And that's what led us to this moment, the reveal that's now shaking the internet. Because for months, people noticed small things. A blurred reflection in a mirror selfie. A soft hand in the corner of an Instagram story. A laugh that didn't sound familiar in the background of one of his lives. Fans knew something was up, but Martell wasn't saying a word. Every time interviewers brought up his love life, he smiled and changed the subject. That only made people more curious. Then, just when everyone started to lose interest, Martell dropped the bombshell, a picture that said more than any press release ever could. No captions, no hints. Just him and her, standing close, looking comfortable in a way that spoke volumes. The post went up in the middle of the night, but within hours, it had spread everywhere. Bloggers reposted it, fans dissected it, and within minutes, her name started trending. The woman beside him wasn't who people expected. She wasn't an influencer chasing clout or another reality star looking for screen time. She seemed grounded, private, and calm, the complete opposite of the chaos Martell's love life has been known for. Some fans were quick to applaud him, saying he finally looks happy. Others weren't so forgiving. To them, this wasn't love, it was strategy. They believe Martell waited until now to show her off because he wanted to shift the narrative, to remind people that he's not the same man he once was. But here's the twist: this woman wasn't a stranger to everyone. Once the internet started digging, people found photos of her from old community events in Huntsville. She'd been around for years, always in the background, never in the drama. Some even claimed she was someone Martell knew long before his fame. That revelation only made things more complicated. Was this a slow burn romance that's been years in the making? Or is Martell rewriting history to look more stable? Either way, the energy around him has changed. For the first time in a long while, Martell isn't acting defensive. He's calm, almost peaceful. You can see it in his interviews, the way he talks about balance, growth, and peace of mind. He's no longer chasing validation from the spotlight, at least not in the same way. Maybe that's what this new relationship represents: control. After years of scandals defining him, Martell might finally be trying to define himself. Still, not everyone's convinced. Some fans are calling this reveal too clean, too perfectly timed right before the new season of Love and Marriage, Huntsville. They think it's a PR move designed to soften his image before cameras start rolling again. They've seen this play before: grand gestures, mysterious posts, and calculated reveals. Martell knows how to get people talking, and he's never been afraid to use his personal life to do it. But something about this feels different. Maybe it's the look in his eyes in that photo. Not smug, not staged, just calm. People who know Martell say he's been trying to turn a corner privately, focusing on his kids, staying out of messy public fights, and rebuilding trust with his family. Maybe, just maybe, this is him showing that growth doesn't always need a microphone. Still, social media being what it is, the reactions are wild. Some are happy for him, saying he deserves peace after years of public chaos. Others say he's playing the long game again, using emotion to rebuild his brand. The debates are endless. But behind all the noise, one thing stands out: this moment means something. It's a shift in the story of a man who's been both villain and victim, depending on who you ask. The emotional weight of this reveal doesn't just fall on Martell, it lands on everyone connected to him. For Melody, fans can't help but imagine how she feels watching her ex-husband move on publicly. Some sympathize with her, saying she endured too much to even care anymore. Others think this is exactly what she wanted, to see Martell finally move on so she can live her peace without drama. Then there's Ariane. The internet wasted no time pulling her name back into the conversation. Her followers flooded her comments, asking how she feels about Martell's new woman. She hasn't said much, but her silence speaks volumes. It's hard to be the person the world once labeled the other woman, especially when the man at the center seems ready to rewrite his narrative without you in it. And for Martell's kids, the spotlight can be a tricky place. Fans hope that this new chapter brings stability to his life, that he's finally choosing maturity over chaos. Because no matter how much people criticize him, one thing's always been clear: he loves his children deeply. Maybe this is his way of showing them what growth looks like after failure. As the days go by, more details are slowly coming out. Friends of Martell say he's been quietly dating this woman for months, maybe even a year. They say she's been a steady presence in his life, someone who encourages him to stay grounded. She's not interested in fame, and that's exactly what he needs. Because for a man who's spent years under the microscope, peace isn't found in applause, it's found in quiet moments away from the noise. But of course, this is Martell Holt we're talking about. The same man who can turn silence into headlines. So the question remains: is this real love or another reinvention? People are divided. Some believe he's finally learned from his mistakes. Others think he's just mastered the art of distraction. Still, it's hard not to notice the symbolism of this reveal. Martell didn't post a caption because he didn't need to. The image spoke for itself. It wasn't flashy or overproduced. Just two people standing side by side, seemingly comfortable in their truth. For once, he didn't look like a man chasing attention. He looked like a man who's done running from himself. And maybe that's the real story here. Not who the woman is, but what she represents: closure, growth, or maybe redemption. For years, Martell's narrative was about destruction, broken trust, broken hearts, broken family. But this moment hints at something different. A man trying to rebuild. A man trying to show the world that he's not defined by his past. Of course, only time will tell if this peace lasts. But one thing's certain: the conversation around Martell Holt has changed. For once, people aren't just talking about his mistakes. They're talking about his next chapter. And whether you believe in his transformation or not, you can't deny the impact of the move he just made. As the internet continues to debate motives and speculate about what's next, Martell remains quiet. No interviews. No explanations. Just silence. And in that silence, he's doing what he's always done best, keeping people guessing. Because in Martell's world, mystery isn't a weakness, it's power. Maybe this is his redemption arc. Maybe it's another strategic play. But one thing's clear, Martell Holt is back in control of his narrative. And in a world obsessed with noise, sometimes the loudest statement is made without saying a single word. He didn't just reveal a woman, he revealed a new version of himself. And whether that version is real or just another reinvention, only Martell knows. But for now, he's walking into his next chapter with quiet confidence, leaving the world to do what it always does: talk. And that's exactly what he wants. Because when Martell Holt moves, the internet listens. And this time, it's not chaos that's making noise, it's calm. And that calm might just be the most powerful thing he's ever shown.